Hello, in this video I'll show you how to get started with Diversion for your game projects. So let's get started. The first thing that you need is to go over to diversion.dev and then log in. If you don't have an account yet, you will need to create one. Otherwise, you just need to sign in. In this case, I'm going to sign in with my Google account, which is previously connected to Diversion. And that's all you need. So this is the main page. You can see here that I have a bunch of repositories. We are going to create one new here for these demo purposes. And I want to show you how to interact with your project using the desktop app of Diversion. You can also interact with your repository using the command line interface or the web UI, which is what I have here, but let's use the desktop app. So you will need to download the client. If you're on Windows, you can simply download the installer, install it, and that's it. If you're on Mac or Linux, you'll need to run this command on your terminal, but at the end you'll get the same things. You'll get the Diversion desktop app. So that's what you only need to care about. So I'm going to download the installer. Of course, I already have it there. So I'm going to actually open the Diversion desktop app, which is this. I'm going to sign in. Same with my Google account. And you can see that it's essentially the same view. It's nothing different, but we're here working directly on our local computer. So let's create a repository. So I click on new repository, and you have the option to either create a new repository or start a Diversion repository from a folder that you already have on your computer. So if you already created an Unreal project and you want Diversion to keep track of the changes of it, you will create from an existing folder. In this case, I'll create a new one. I'm going to name it slot game, and I'm going to save it somewhere on my documents. Yeah, maybe here. And I'll click create. Perfect. So my repository has been created. It's also local on my computer. It's saved remotely on the cloud, and this is the path where the project was saved into. I'm gonna click on it. So we open up the project, and you can see that the only thing that we have is this dbignore file, which allows Diversion to ignore certain files that you don't need to keep track of. So if you're using Godot, Unity, Unreal, Visual Studio, etc., those files, the most common files to ignore, are already ignored, but you can, of course, add more. So we're on this repository that we just created, and let me show you this idea of a workspace, because if I click here, you can see that we have workspaces, and I'm currently at this workspace over here that was named after my computer, and it's on the main branch. So what is a workspace? A workspace is a mechanism that Diversion uses to keep in sync the files on my computer, in this case on my Windows machine, and in the cloud. So if I add a new file, it's going to be backed up in the cloud. I don't need to do anything. Diversion will do it automatically. This prevents us to not lose any work, and nobody else will see those changes. These workspaces are per user, so only me will. I'll be the only one that will see those changes replicated. Once I want to actually submit those changes, I'll create a commit into the branch that I'm working on, so the people working on that branch will be able to get the changes automatically into their local machines. So what I want to do, I want to add some files to my project, to my repository, I should say. How can I do it? Multiple ways. In this case, I'm going to go with the easiest one, which is drag and dropping. This folder contains an Unreal project, and drop it into the desktop app directly. So we have a bunch of view assets, and I'm just going to upload them. The other way is to simply add the files directly on Windows Explorer or the Finder. Diversion will already know to keep track of those, and will start uploading them as you add them. So we already have them here. Keep track of. You see that Diversion is currently syncing, so it's still uploading. The next step will be to create an actual commit, right? Right now, what happened is Diversion uploaded them to the cloud, but I'm the only one that can see the files. I want my collaborators to be able to see the files as well, so we need to create a commit. A commit is a snapshot of the project, all the files, all the changes at a certain point in time. In this case, I only added the files, so the commit will only have the additions. How do I create a commit? Pretty simple. I just select all the files that I want to commit, everything here, and I'm going to type a message, Unreal project. I'll commit. At the point, by the point I create a commit, all the files are already backed up in the cloud, so it's going to be super fast. I confirm. And there we go. If I go here to history, you'll see that I have the recent commit that I added into the main branch that I've been working on. I'll show you, I'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. The next thing that I want to do is to actually add collaborators, right? Because you can be working on your own, but in many cases you'll be working with other people. So how do I add collaborators? Pretty simple. I'll click on the slot icon, and I'm going to go to my slot game, click on the repo settings button, and I simply need the emails of my collaborators, add them there, and give some permissions. So in this case, this is the email of my collaborator. I want that person to be able to write, so read and write, and I'm going to send the invite. That's it. If they have a Diversion account, they'll get access to the repository right away. If they don't, they need to create a new account, and then they'll be able to get access to the repository. So now let's pretend I'm the other person. I'm working on Mac, so let's go over to my Mac partition. And this is the repository that I'm now part of. What do I need to do? Well, I need to clone the repository so I can start getting the assets and also changing things and interacting with the project and collaborating with my colleagues. So I'm going to clone the repository. Where do I want to save it? Somewhere on my documents here, Diversion repositories. I'm going to clone it. The workspace, it's syncing. So in this case, it's downloading the files from the cloud. We can see the progress over here. Once the icon stops flashing, that means I have the project on my computer and I can start working with it. Depending on the number of files and the size of the repository, it's going to take more or less time, but in general, it's going to be pretty fast. So I click on the repository. Actually, let me go here because I click on the repository over here. You can see that I'm here on the main branch. I see the two commits that my colleague previously did. And here, I don't have a workspace. Remember, we need a workspace to be able to work on the project. So I'm going to create one called Arturo Workspace. And now I can start adding files, modifying files, etc. Now, what's the recommended strategy to work on a repository? The recommended way is to create a branch. So that means I'm going to split the repository. I'm going to add my changes to that branch, which will contain the stuff that the main branch contained. I'm going to create my branch, add changes, modify files, remove files, etc. I'm going to commit those changes to that branch. And then once I'm ready, I'm going to merge the changes back into the main branch. So how do I do all that? And it's pretty simple. So I'm here on my workspace. It's on the main branch. I want to create a new branch called maybe concept art branch. Okay, I'm going to create it. And I created it successfully. I'm going to go back to the workspace, and you can see here that we're still on the main branch on my workspace. What I want to do is to check out the concept art branch into my workspace. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to check out the branch. So now my workspace is on the concept art branch. So whatever I modify, whatever I commit, is going to be added to the concept art branch. It's not going to get added yet to the main branch. So yeah, this is a general way we recommend of working with your repository. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag and drop concept art into the desktop app. Actually, let me create a new folder here first called concept art. And now I drag and drop this concept art, which is not really concept art, it's just an image. And I'm going to add it to this folder. So I upload it. And you can see that Diversion is telling me, well, there are new files. There's a new folder over here. I want to add everything into my commit, that sloth concept art. And I'm going to commit it. Remember, it's going to get committed into the concept art branch. So I commit, all good. Let's see the history over here. And then you can see that there's a new commit in the concept art branch. Now I said we want now to merge these changes into the main branch. How do we do that? Well, a couple of steps. The first step is checking out the main branch first. So we are working on that. So I check out the main branch. Yes. The main branch, you can see here, doesn't have the concept art because we were not working on that branch. So what we want to do is to merge the concept art changes, the changes on the concept art branch into the main branch. How do we do this? Remember, I checked out the main branch. So I'm going to click here on concept art. This is the branch. I'm going to click on this menu and then merge into current. Which one is current? Current is the main branch, which is the one that we have in our workspace. So I merge it. And there we go. The merge was successful. Of course, my addition didn't conflict with anything that was on the main branch, which is the ideal case. If you have some conflicts, then Diversion will tell you, oh, you cannot merge this file because someone else modified it, so you'll need to solve the conflicts. But in this case, everything went smooth, and you can see here that we're on main branch and we have this commit that got merged into the main branch. So that's essentially all you need to get started. There are other ways to interact with your repositories, but for now, you should have everything you need to get started with Diversion. If you have any questions, if you have feedback, please let us know on Discord, here on the comment section of the video, Twitter, LinkedIn, anywhere you want. We are very excited about you trying Diversion, so thank you.